Good afternoon, everybody. If you can hear me, you register in the chat, and then we begin. Okay. First of all, when we started these Zoom meetings, I set it that we shall meet, I think, 7 times. So as long as you registered the first time, it is automatic. You go to the same link and then join the class. So I was waiting. It looks like every time we are meeting, I have to share the link. I have no problem with that. I'll straight away begin with the lecture. We shall not be waiting for those who will come in later. So I'll share my screen. And this is the publication I'll use today. I'll just go through it, what it is that we did in the exam. This is a publication with 2 authors, Andrew A. Adams and Rachel J. M. Crindle. The main entry goes under the author listed first, and that will be under Adams, which we have here. Adams, Andrew A. is the main entry heading. And from this, we derive the book number ADA. You will have noticed that the class number, I've written it in groups of 3s. That is how it is done. So then the last 3 does not fit here, so it goes on the next line. It is a book, so area O, we shall capture the term text, title proper, Pandora's box, and it has other title, social and professional issues of the information age. You'll notice that the S is capitalized, space, / space, statement of responsibility, Andrew A. Adams, space, Rachel J. M.C. Crindle. There was no edition statement, so we move to the place of publication, which is Chichester in England. So the punctuation device that combines the 2 is a comma. The name of the publisher after space, : space, John Wiley and Sons Limited. Copyright year 2008, reprinted in 2012. Place of printing, Glasgow, which is in Great Britain. So this is the town, this is the country, and the name of the printer, Bell and Bain, and there is no date of printing. So that ND is enclosed in square brackets. As second paragraph, I've started from the second indentation, 23 Roman, 635 Arabic. The connecting punctuation device is a comma, space before 635. It had illustrations, so you leave a space, colon space, ill, and then the dimension, 24 centimeters, after a space, semicolon space. There was no series, so we move to the note area. Melindwa has raised his hand. We'll check. Sure. Melindwa says he can't see my screen. I'm confirming with the rest in the chat. They're also saying they are not seeing the screen. I'll do that again. I'll stop the share and then share screen again. I need confirmation if you can see the screen now. Can you see the screen? Dennis, if you can see the screen, respond. Okay. And now everybody can see the screen. I wonder what the problem was. Though to me, it was showing that you can see my screen. I will not repeat all this, but just look at the entry. I'd reached this far: Roman pages, Arabic pages, illustrations, dimension, and we also have the note area where we record the index. After the note area, we move to the standard book number area. Standard book number has 13 digits. It is a paperback, so this is the qualification of the standard book number. In the tracing area, I've assigned 2 subject headings. Number 1, Information Society. Number 2, Information Technology. The second author, MC Credo, Rachel J, will get an added entry. The one who was given second will get an added entry. And lastly, we shall prepare a title added entry. So that was the main entry for that publication. I'll show you all the other added entries before we start cataloging the same book using KOHA. So the first subject added entry, remember the boundary of the entry is just above that Information Society subject heading. So it is in capital letters, starting from the second indentation. So this is the change. And also our number 2 is the title, which from the main entry was just the word title. When we go to the subject added entry, we fill in the actual title. That is the first subject added entry. And I move, the second subject added entry is Information Technology. And you'll notice that it still remains in the body of the card, just like Information Society. I move to the joint author added entry, still starting from the second indentation, MC Credo, Rachel J. And please, when the second author is the heading of the entry, do not remove the first author from that position. That was an error performed by a number of your colleagues. And after the joint author added entry, we have the title added entry, Pandora's Box, still starting from the second indentation. And now, because it was appearing last in the previous entries, on its own added entry, the title does not appear there in the tracing. And of course, it depends. The title was the last, but we could have had the series as last. So that will determine what appears and what doesn't appear. I'm checking the question and answer. And Melindwa asks, which law are you now using to make the authors first after text? And my answer is, this is a publication of last semester, and it has 2 authors. And if we have 2 authors, the main entry goes under the first author. It doesn't mean that what we learned last semester, we should throw it away. We continue building on what we learned earlier. I think that is settled. I now continue to the reference added entries. For the first author, Andrew A. Adams, C. Adams, Andrew A. Again, many people were making errors on the reference added entries. The when the name is given on the title page is what we start with, and then the name we have used in the main entry comes last. And don't forget that comma. Lastly, the second author, Rachel J, MC Crindo C, MC Crindo, Rachel J. Mulindwa, we cannot wait for you. For us, we are able to see the screen. So it means either the network has issues in your place, but normally when something is not working, you refresh or you close and start again. And that is when it will show. It says you can see now. So then we proceed. So that is the book I'm going to use. And the challenge is going to be the net. It is threatening to drain. Yesterday it was terrible. So I hope the rain won't interfere with the network. If it does, I will have no option. So now I'm going to the internet. I'll share the screen. I'm going to, and we begin. I go to the net, and remember the address we go to is intranet. You'll notice that when I start typing, because I visited that web address, it automatically appears intranet full stop by watersolutions.com. So I just click enter for us to get to that screen. The login appears. By water is the username, and the password is also by water. It is there already, though not visible. So I click login, and we are in the system. You will notice that I'm faster compared to yesterday. I want to ensure that we cover something, because what we are doing relies on the net. Cataloging is the module we shall select. I click cataloging. And now we had people making errors. Unfortunately, by the time I saw their questions, time had elapsed, so I could not really answer most of them, but there are two ways of how we catalog. That is entering a new record. Nakaga, I see your hand raised. Please put down your hand, and if there is any question, you type in the chat. So on this screen, we shall select new record by clicking on that pointer. And when we click on the pointer, we get these options, and we shall select books, booklets, and workbooks for us to get that screen where we add a mark record. It is a machine readable cataloging record. It doesn't make sense saving first, though some people can opt for that. And if you do that, there are options. You can save and view record where we have not entered anything, or you can save and edit items, or you can save and continue editing. So most of you had issues with this. You got lost along the way. But now I've not saved. I'm starting to fill in tag O. Everywhere where we see required, we shall fill. I've clicked there, automatically those characters appear. 008, I click, they also appear. And then I go to this. One of your colleagues on their screen, they did not have this box. They only had these two boxes. So it meant that they needed to expand to get where they fill in the ISBN. I will, first of all, see what this does. It repeats the tag. When I click, you'll notice that there is a second 020. So if I want to remove this, I'll click there. And then in case it is not showing, you click there and then it will expand. But mine is already there. So I don't need to expand because it is there. So in case you see, for instance, like this one, cataloging source, there is nothing where we fill in. If we wanted this box, we would click in the words, and then you can see where you fill it. But now we don't need that. So I go back to the standard book number field. So I hope that person has been answered. The ISBN is 978 04 700 65532, and it is a paperback. So I also give that qualification. I'm done with what I needed to fill in that area. 082 edition, we said probably we are using the latest edition, 22nd, and the classification number is 303.4833, and remember the item number is the book number. ADA, the main author Adams takes the main entry for this book. So this screen, I'm done. I move to tag 1. And from tag 1, it is a personal author who will take the main entry, and it is tag 100. I'll do something that will show what I was demonstrating earlier. When I point in these words, because it is already expanded, when I click, you notice that we get more of those where we fill. When I click, they disappear. When I click again, these fields come back. So that shouldn't get you stuck. Don't fill in these boxes. Where you fill is this side. Personal name, starting with the surname, it is Adams, not Adamas, Adams, comma, space, Andrew A. That person takes the main entry and is a personal author. We do not have any enumeration, titles and words associated with the name, nothing, dates, nothing. So that is all we shall have to fill there, and the rest of these tags are not applicable. I move to tag 2, and it is tag 245 that we use. I type the title, which is Pandora's box, is the title proper, space, colon, space, the other title in the next box, social and professional issues of the information age. That we are done. Space, / space, statement of the responsibility. We give the names of the 2 authors as they appear on the title page. I've done that, but we shall separate those 2 authors using a comma, space. Rachel J. MC Crindle. Those are the 2 authors. I'm done. Tag 250 is where we record the addition statement, and there is no addition statement, so we shall leave that blank. We move to the tag 260, place of publication, after space, full stop, space, dash, space. The place is Chichester, comma, space, and this is in England. So town first and then the country. We shall leave a space, colon, before going to the next line or subfield B to give the name of the publisher, John Willie and Sons Limited. Then a comma, space before giving the year. We have a copyright year 2008, and then a reprint year, which is 2012. I'm done with that tag. The rest of these are not relevant. Tag 3, where we describe the book physically. Extent, someone was asking what extent means, but extent refers to the number of pages, starting with the Roman. We have 23 Roman, comma, and then the Arabic 635. We have 635 Arabic pages. I move to other physical details. The punctuation device is a space, colon, space before indicating whether it has illustrations, and they are black and white. So we shall record ill. Then a space, semicolon, space before giving the dimension on the next line, which is 24 centimeters, and a dot after M. There is no accompanying material, type of unit not applicable, and size of unit not applicable. This is a book. Content type, we shall not record anything. Media type, carrier type, all those we shall ignore. Tag 4 is when the book has a series and our book does not have a series title. So we omit tag 4, move to tag 5. Tag 5 is where we shall record the notes or the note area. And I have one note. This book has an index. And remember, yesterday I prefer to use tag 520, though we could also have used 500. This is for general notes. And you'll notice that I have nowhere to fill. So it means I have to click in this to get something like this. So I click in the word summary, and indeed it appears. And I'll record that it has an index, space, colon, space, colon, space, and that index starts from page 609. I don't know where it ends, so I'll stop there. You can see if it was a summary, you can expand the summary, and you can also give the uniform resource identifier if it is an online book. Grade level target audience, in case you knew who the book targets, that is under tag 521. Geographic coverage note, study program information note, system details, etc. In case they are relevant, they are not for this book. I move to tag 6. And tag 6 is where we shall specify the added entries. We can have a personal name when it is a subject, a corporate name, meeting name, uniform title. But in this case, tag 650 is what we shall use. It is a subject and it is topical. Source of heading, we use the Sears list of subject headings. Some of you who are working in the university libraries, maybe you are using Library of Congress. Those in Albert Cook Library, you could also be using another one. So it doesn't mean that you will ever be using Sears. Now, subfield A, topical term. The topical term, one of them is information society. Remember, I gave 2 subjects. There is no form division. There is no division whatsoever. So all these are not applicable. So this is for the first subject added entry. However, I added 2. So it means if I want to give the second one, which is information technology, I'll have to go back here. And then I repeat this tag. It means 650 will appear twice. So I click there. And indeed, I have a second 650 for me to give details of the second subject, still from the Sears list of subject headings. And the topical term is information technology. So already you can see that when we catalog using a computer, we save on time and resources. We don't repeat the whole entry. We just provide the term and we are done. And then one of you was asking, what of the author reference added entries? I have not seen that option, but it must be there. So I'm done with the subject added entries, information society, and information technology. And all these are under tag 6. I'm yet to give an added entry for the As second author, I'm tempted to think this could apply, but we need to be sure what is under 7, 8, in fact 7 and 8. If we don't get where we provide for the second author, then this is what we shall use. I move to tag 7. Yeah, and indeed it is here. Added entry for personal author. So for the second author, we shall use this. I need to bring the box by expanding, by clicking in this word, and we have where we fill in. And the name of the second author is MC Prindo. Of course, you start with the surname, comma, Rachel J. I'm done. The rest is not applicable. It means I'll just proceed. And this was a personal author. In case we had a corporate author, then we would use this, meeting name, that, etc., etc. So that is all I needed on tag 7. That is where we provide for added entries who are personal authors. Tag 8, series. We did not have a series, so this we shall not use. Tag 9, we saw this yesterday that this should be an error. It is tag 9. We don't expect 2, 3, 5 to appear there. So all those I ignore. I go to tag 942 to see what we need to fill in. Source of classification or shelving scheme. Definitely it is DDC. In case you are using Library of Congress or any other classification scheme, then you change by going there and then you select. But now for me, I use DDC. The item type is a book. And this is a required field. More or less, they are asking you for area O. That is why it is a must time to must appear. And then edition, I'm thinking they are referring to the DDC, but there are no options, and it doesn't also allow me to type. So these are some of the errors in the software. Remember, this is a demo. It is a demonstration software. But in case you need to install one, it is a free software. You just have to get someone who knows how to install. Classification part, still not clear. Call number prefix. And this is where we put the book number last time. So the book number is ADA. Call number suffix. If this book was allocated maybe to the reserve section, then that is when we would have the call number suffix. That is something that appears before the class number. Assuming this book is in Afrikaner, in the Makerere University Library, then the call number suffix will be AFR. It means it comes before our class number, which is 303.4833, and then the book number appears last. That will be ADA. So I typed it in full to show to you that there is what can appear before the class number and there is what appears after. So what appears after is what I've taken to be prefix. There is a problem, suffix and prefix, which comes first. So that one we need to be sure of it. But the call number suffix, I'm assuming it is the one which comes first. And the prefix, there is something I'm forgetting there, but at least take note, there is something which appears there, and then the book number. For us in cataloging, what appears first, like AFR, we call it a collection number. I'll just type it here for you to see what I'm talking about. We call it a collection number, but all these are not type here. I will just leave it blank because it wasn't appearing on our document. I'm done with 9. And this is where Joan was asking that she's lost. It starts by saying added entry elements in KOHA. And then I think these are other elements we can give, which are provided for in this software. Having field tag 9, specifically 942, it is only then that we shall go to save. And the saving options, we get them from here. When I click, you can save and view record. And indeed, this is what we want. We want to see what we have done. There is save and edit item, save and continue editing. These you'll try out. You have all the time to try out and see what these do. But I'll save and view record. I've clicked to save. And remember, I'm fast because of the internet. And I get this info. Duplicate record suspected. In other words, there is some other person who has already cataloged this book using this KOHA software. So if it was me, then I would know that this is another copy, a copy of the same book. So I don't need to edit. I am saving this as a new record, like it. I'm cataloging it for the first time. So I say no, save as new record. And I've clicked for it to be saved as a new record. And indeed, it is saved, but I'm surprised this record number is similar to what we had yesterday. This is the same number I had yesterday. These records in the catalog cannot have the same number. So that is another thing to take note of. In case you also add a record and you get the same record number, and then you'll clearly confirm this is a demo software. It is not functioning the way it should be functioning. Now this is the item, and we still have to add. We have not yet added this to our catalog. Remember, the catalog can be searched from there. So we need to fill in all these before we add the item. And after filling in these, you have add item. You can add and duplicate, that is make 2 copies. Or you can even make more copies. But for us, we shall add item. We don't need copies. Withdrawn status, lost status. If I've just received this book in the library, it can't be lost. So I will leave that blank. Source of classification, no shelving, DDC, I'll maintain that. Material specific volume or part, not applicable, it is not damaged. There are no restrictions. Assuming it is in courses, you don't borrow those books, so it is restricted access, not for loan. I have to fill in something that will show or will display in our entry. Collection code, you remember I mentioned this collection number, because it is for not for loan, most likely it is on reserve. So there must be something that shows that. So collection code is reserve, home library, and that one they need to customize this to show libraries in your setting. It could be in the main lib, that one I'll just leave what is there. The rest don't make sense to us. I'll just leave what is already there. Even when I want to remove, I can remove. Shelving location. Somewhere up we said it is on the reserve. If there's anything related to that, we can pick that. Normally books which are on reserve are reference books. So I also put whatever reference books I see here. Data acquired today. I have acquired. In case you bought these books a month ago, then you can go back and mention. But I've put today's date. Source of acquisition, assuming we purchased. So I will type purchase. And that is the terms of availability. Coded location qualifier, that one, no cost. This book is likely to be around 100,000, but normally these prices are quoted in dollars. There's someone calling my phone. I'll just switch that off. It will disorganize the network. And Penelope says the person who taught me during intern, there's some box she put in a word text, but I don't remember the box yet. For you, I have not seen you indicate it anywhere. You will see it. It is good. You have been taught. Don't tell me you are done with your internship, Penelope. You are done with internship. It is interesting. We shall see what you are talking about later. Copy number, assuming you have more than one copy, then you'll have to issue a copy number to each of them. And normally this one you get from the accessioning register. You keep on adding on those numbers from the accession register. The rest I will ignore. I see cost normal purchase price under G, and then I see cost replacement price. The price there, if this book costs $50, it cannot cost the same when you are replacing it. Normally, we would charge you more. If it cost 50 when it was bought, and then for you, you lose it when you are replacing it, normally we make it hard for you. We could even charge you $100, such that we don't get library users who borrow the books, then come back, tell us the book is lost, and then they end up paying 50. We try to include all other costs, shipping, time, and then your colleagues, you have denied access to that book. So that is why the replacement price is prohibitive, such that you don't even think about withholding the book because you have money to pay for it. The rest, there's core item type, and then I don't think this is what your colleague was referring to. It is a new book. I'll use that. Public note, not to be borrowed. I'm trying to fill in many details as possible, such that later I add the item. A moment. Okay. I sorry for that interruption. One of my grandsons came to give me information from my mom, and he doesn't know that I was in class. Now, an error has occurred, and the reasons are given. You made use of an external link to an item that is no longer available. You followed an outdated link. What next? Use top menu bar to navigate to another part. To report a broken link. Now, this is what I was trying to avoid all along, rushing such that we save. But in case it is not saved, I'll go back. It is here. I clicked add item. And I also confirm my internet is on. So I click again, add item. And we succeed. So we don't need to cry that things have jammed. So items for Pandora's, did I type boss? So you can see there is an error there. It means I need to edit. Withdrawn status, we did not put lost status. So all the details we were inputting are indicated there. So when I scroll this site, you will see all the details we were inputting. And now what we did not see yesterday is what I want to show you. These details can be displayed in a normal way, in a mark way, in a labeled mark, in ISBD. ISBD is what we were doing originally. So I'll click here, and then this is the normal entry, the way it should appear in your record book, though not exactly in the same arrangement. You can see this line goes. Of course, if it was a card, there is no card which is this long. But this is the ISBD format. This is International Standard Bibliographic Description format, the one we have been using all along. But now, my interest is how does the mark look like? I click, and then you'll start getting those foreign things. They start by showing you tag O, tag 1, tag 2 with all the subfields. You can see under tag 2, we filled the tag 245 and 260. Tag 3, someone was asking what is extent. So that is the pagination. And then all the others, tag 5. And you will notice that the tags which were not applicable, they are not indicated. 4 is missing. Tag 6. Remember, we made subject headings, and we added 2 of them. So they are reproduced here: Information Society and Information Technology. Tag 7, where we had added entry for personal author. They just give the name of the author. And lastly, tag 9. I wonder what is under items. So it is like the full details of all that. So that is the mark. And then labeled mark. I think this, they give more details, the way we saw earlier in KOHA. So they mention whatever they are giving this site. These are like the signposts, and then they give you the details. I think you remember that earlier. For instance, subject, which is a topic, it is from the Sears list, and they give it Information Society. So in a very fast way, I've cataloged one of those books, and you saw there was an error. Which one? Pandora's boss instead of box. So if I'm to change this, I have to go to edit. I click there, edit record. Edit items in a batch, delete items, attach item, very many options. And there's also delete record. Delete all items. I think that will not be good. So I edit record, and then it will give me that template. The title is under tag 2. And here is the mistake. I remove the S, put the X, and now I save. Remember, it is already in the system. So I've already edited and you can see it is there properly, and the further details you can see as we were entering them. I want to stop there first, and I need questions in the chat. So anybody with a question up to where we are, you should be able to type in the chat, and I see if today was clearer than yesterday, you also mention it in the chat. Already someone was saying the thing was flowing like the Ugandan economy. So those compliments will also motivate me. One has typed, I don't see any question, no comment. Then at least confirm. So I haven't seen the last one from Save. My network was bad. And Dikini, where are you working from now? Can you type? I get to know where you are working from. Oh, Dikini is in Senate. Are you with any other person? If there is any other person in Senate, did they experience the same? Did they also experience the same problem? Or each one of you is on their phone? And so that is a network issue. Can you see my screen? I'm just repeating for Adikini and the group. If you can see this screen, I'm assuming that I've made an error in this, but it is already saved. That is why I'm able to see all these details. But we have options. Either I can go and then catalog a new one. I can edit this very one. I can also save. I can add, supposing I wanted to borrow. Remember, this is an online catalog where it is stored. So you can select what you want to borrow, and then we can also print. But now to answer their query, I'm assuming there was something for me to edit. And that editing is best done in the Mac format, this, where they give you tag 0, tag 1, 2, 3 continuously. So when I click on edit, I want to edit this record. So I select edit record, and then the other template comes back. Assuming I've gone through all these, I've edited, then the next thing will be to save. And that is where you say you had the network issues. So I click there. I want to save and view the record. You can have also these other options, but I want to save and view the record. And when I click on that, then I get back to this. So the record, the full details are listed here, but I can also view them in Mac format, labeled Mac, ISBD. I like ISBD, so I click on that. It gives it in a neat way. The author who took the main entry there, title proper, other title, and this is where you can see whether the punctuation you used were right. /, then the authors, Chinchester after full stop. This doesn't look like a full stop. Those are the editing things you have to do. It is in Chinchester, England, John Will and Sons. Even here, I don't see the full stop. Remember here, I started a new paragraph. And then the subjects, for it, they don't give you tracing area. They just mention the subjects. They don't even tell you that they made an added entry for the second author when it is displayed in ISBD. And then the class number, they are listing it last. But remember, for us, we put it where it goes in our entry. And then the book number, they have slashed. For us, we don't give that slash. But remember, this is KOHA. And then when it is in mark format, then it gives you tag by tag, all those elements. And in case you had issues, when I go to tag 1, you can see under tag 1, there was only one subfield we filled. But under tag 2, we filled subfield A, we also filled subfield B, subfield C, under 245, where we put the title. Then 260, it had subfield A, B, and C, which we also filled. I want to end this adding a new record using KOHA here. I'll stop the share and then ask if you have any questions. Oh, sorry, Sharon, we understand you missed other lectures. As long as you attend all the others, you'll catch up. It is good now that you are following. And also the videos are in Mwere. There are videos of the previous lectures embedded in Mwere. Today I tried to change the file format, still I failed. That file format, I think it is because of the laptop I'm using. And then EPEMU, when using online cataloging, we use the same procedures for editorial and author publications. Now you have seen the way we were entering the details. It doesn't differentiate between editorial and author publication such that the hanging indentation comes out. I don't see that option. So it might not display the way it is supposed to display under hanging indentation. No more questions there. Namsoke, you are raising your hand. I wonder what for. I want to make a Z39 search. So I'm going back. I'm sharing my screen. I go back, share. And please allow me to log out. There are certain things we take lightly and then people don't follow. I'd logged in for me to be able to do what we have done. So now I want to go back somewhere, either here, by water. When I click on by water, I have an option for logging out. There's my account, my checkouts, but what is relevant for me now is logging out. And I've logged out. Why? I wanted to go back here and log in again. That is the username, and the password is also by water. When I type, you don't see what I've typed, but it is still by water. I log in. I'm back to KOHA. I go to the cataloging module. We have learned how to catalog by using new record. Now I want to use the Z39.5 search. So I click there. What do we want to search? Books, booklets, workbooks. And I get this screen. So now, in order not to waste time, I'll search for a document which I already know is in the catalog. And this time I'll use the title, Pandora's. No, but when I use the title, you will think it is obvious. Let us use the ISBN. And then this is when you will know that an ISBN indeed is very unique to a particular unique to a particular book. So I've typed in ISBN and I'm searching. I can select search in all libraries. And the search button is down here on the left. So I click search and wait. I'm waiting. As I wait, and I get those responses up there, which I will ignore, but they are telling us in the server, which is on your EO and then Library of Congress, indeed this book is there. And it is there. They also give us that it is a paperback. This is Library of Congress Center number. And now it is upon us. If we think we should pick this second one, you see I clicked there and it is yellow now. I can first preview either the Mac preview or the card preview before I import. And when I import, what I'm doing is copy cataloging. It is already cataloged somewhere. I'm importing the details, then I edit them and add it to my catalog. So let's preview the Mac. You can see how the Mac looks like with these tags we were talking about earlier. And then the details. Some of these things are not comprehensible, but there is 020. This one we know. So that one is easy to follow. What we have not used, we shall ignore. 100 we know, that is where the author name appears. 245, Pandora's box is the title. Other title under subfield B is given. Then after the /, the two author names are given. And here there is an error. We don't use and. That one is outdated. We use a comma after the first author before giving the second author. So it means there are details we shall have to edit. Then 263, and then for them, they gave a subject technology. They also gave social sciences. For us, we gave different. So having seen that preview, I can now go here and import. I click on import. And when I import, I get this template with all the details already filled in. You can see those details 008, they are there. Library of Congress control number, which we even don't know what it means. It has also been brought. The national bibliography number. If you have a national library which is serious, those numbers are given. So you can see that indeed we have something to work on. So when we have this and our book, then we can go ahead and edit and remove what we don't want. For instance, this Library of Congress control number, if we are not using it, we remove. I will just delete. I go to tag 1. If this is okay, now you can see for them, they added data associated with the name. This 1969 with a dash means the author was born in 1969. Oh, yeah, I can't view your screen. I stop and then share again. I was taken up and I wasn't looking in the chat. And then all of a sudden I saw there were messages, very many. I don't know from what point you are not seeing, but I'm going to do it again. Assuming I've abandoned this, I want also to see. There's nothing here for me to answer in the question and the answer. None knows I don't understand your question. I'm going to cancel and then search again. That is how best we can understand. This time, I'll use another book and we shall use the author. You remember that book, Anta. What was the second name for Anta? I don't remember the other name I searched. It was Eric J. Anta. I now recall. So Anta was the surname. Now I put Eric J. I want to see if this book, I have to go back. It was so fast. So I'll search for Anta, Eric J. I search and I'm searching in it too. And what results do we get? Classification made simple is what I was targeting. And it is in Cito Public Library. I'll import this. And please, I want to confirm that you can see my screen. I'm in the chat. Yeah, someone had already, Adong mentioned the Eric J. Anta. So this is what I was doing when you are not seeing. I imported a document and now we can edit. If tag O is okay, we would continue. And what we confirm that it is okay is the standard book number. And then for them here, they have written the word qualifying information. Now you can see that it is supposed to be paperback, but now for us, that qualifying information from what we have learned so far, we put it in parentheses and then in abbreviated form. And then I would go to tag 1, confirm, Anta Eric J is okay. Tag 2, where we find the title, classification made simple, statement of responsibility. Fine. Tag 3, extent, I don't remember how many pages, dimension, and you can see the punctuation are also there, but this word pages is wrong. So I edit, I leave a P with a dot. So that is what we do. And now comes the question one of your colleagues was asking, that she was taught that somewhere you type text. You remember I've not been mentioning area O, and that is our next topic. This, you have seen content type, media type. So this is the area, and fun enough, it is in 3.3, or rather 3, tag 3. Ideally, it should have been under O, but that is where it is. So take note of that. And when you go online, you'll find presentations on area O, but that is what I'm going to cover next. So I'd wanted this to wait. When we have covered enough, then we'll go back to KOHA and fill in those details. So assume we are done there. There was no series for that book. Area, it includes index 6, subject added entry. I want to see if they gave under topical, it is there. There's the main subject and then the subdivision books. 7, there was no other author. 8, no series. 9, those few details. And then it will be after all that you'll go here and save. You can save and view record. Alternatively, you can just click on save. Intranet can't save this record because aren't filled. We have tag 040 and 942. They are not filled. I go to 040. Interesting. Cataloging source. transcribing. Who is cataloging? Assuming it is Isiris. Now that is the agent's cataloging. So they had not filled in that. And then under 942 KOHA default item is a book. And I can select books. Now I'm done. I click save. And we are done. And you can see this record has a different record number. So I think KOHA is not having any problem. Maybe it is me who ended up getting the same record number for another book. So that is the Z39 way of cataloging. You just copy details from another publication. I'll read to stop here for now and answer your questions in case you have any. If you don't, then I saw someone saying that you are multitasking, you are doing internship, you are attending lectures, and then you don't want to do assignments. That is up to you. But now I'm typing the assignment in the chat. Catalog 5 publications in KOHA. That is all you need to do. And then I'll assume you have learned how to catalog with KOHA. Those of you in institutions where KOHA is the library software being used, type the name of the institution. And your colleagues see that this skill is needed. I know URSB, they are using it. Minister of Finance, I installed it there. I'm not sure if that lady in the Treasury Library is still using it. We had a lot of challenges. Our computer wasn't so up to date. So if you are in an institution where KOHA is the library software being used, please type that information in the chat and we know. If you have never seen KOHA until when we studied it in class, don't assume you will not meet it anywhere. Nobody is using KOHA. Nobody is working in URSB. Nabila says they are using it in KCCA. I was with the librarian yesterday in my office. He visited me. It is good to see that you are using it. So it is only in KCCA. Makerere, we have a software we are using virtual, but I also had a rumor they wanted to shift to KOHA. I don't know how far that went. So if you have no questions, allow me to stop the share and officially end today's presentation. And also we shall not be looking at KOHA in class tomorrow, or not tomorrow. When we next meet, I want you to see online what we are going to cover. Of course, you will log into Muwere, and that is where you will see from what we shall be covering next. I'll quickly log into my account and then also make one last announcement for those who failed to submit their exam scripts. I'm in Muwere, and I look for BLS 2212, and I'm just scrolling through to go to what I want. For those of you who have missed previous presentation, 4 more editors video is here. Then the Mark 21 video is there. This is a video on KOHA, which I just embedded in Mwere. So when you have time, you just click that and view it. There's another one. There's also another one there. And then there's yesterday's presentation. And then, of course, today's presentation will also be added there. And then later we shall go to area O, which we shall be covering next. It is within this week. So allow me to stop here for today. Have a good evening. Have a good evening as you practice cataloging with KOHA. I'm stopping the share such that people can log out, and I also stop the meeting. So till next week.